You brought a lot of yourself to the song, did you?
The funniest thing was, when this Anupallavi came, Kausalya Shiti Paripalaga. He said, okay, we need a humming here. So I said, okay, can I try something? And I sang, so that was my...
How did you do that? How did you not melt?
I just sang, because I was so foolish. I mean, when you are dumb, you don't think, no, okay, when you have no fear, then obviously you're dumb. So I just sang like that. I said, he was laughing. He said, oh, that's very nice improvisation, let's take it. So everything I only improvised, he didn't teach me. So it was incredible, that he gave me that kind of freedom.
So it's unreal to think of it.
It's really unreal because the next recording I sang was for Ilayaraja sir, where I was not allowed to even sing a different variation.
What is that song?
Where I was in a military camp. Ghanashama Vrindaranyam Rasakeliyamam. Raja sir is the biggest genius, and that was my solo. And for me, if I tried a different note, he said, no, I don't want that. I want exactly this. He knew what he wanted, and he made me sing that only. So I was thinking, how different the systems were working.
Can you sing a bit more of that? It's such a beautiful song.
Ghanashama Vrindaranyam Rasakeliyamam Nikunjangal Koil Patil Pagarnadum Neram Ennodere Ishtamennayi Krishna Venu Paadi Ishtamennodere Ennayi Mandra Venu Odi Ghanashama Vrindaranyam Rasakeliyamam.
I remember I had so much trouble taking my eyes off Bhanupriya and looking at somebody else.
She's so beautiful. Yeah, so graceful.
Beautifully done. Yeah.
And Lakshmi is one of my closest friends. So we both started off with Deena Dayalu, and I sang for her. And that was her.
That's a nice coincidence.
That's her debut and my debut. My second movie was Kochu Kochu Sandoshangal. That was her second movie. And whenever I go to Bangalore, we always catch up for a meal or for a movie or something. And both of us are classical musicians. I mean, we do both classical and we do film. So we have a lot of similarities in our career that way, So and we read a lot. So we share a lot of common tastes, whether it's literature or music. She's an avid music music listener. She's got an excellent taste in music because her mother was a Carnatic musician. So so we have these endless discussions about music or dance or whatever. So that is something, that's a special friendship which I share.
Oh, that's lovely. You went on to sing Inde Nee Kanna, right? Which got you state acclaim. What does that song mean to you when you think about it?
That song, again, that song just came to me like that. Every song came to me only because I have not approached anyone. So Bhajan sir called me one day and he said, we have this Krishna devotional song and we want you to sing it. And tune wise, it's a very Malayalam traditional tune, but we don't want you to sing like that. We want your stamp. We want your style of singing. And that was a song in which I could improvise a lot again, because he gave me full freedom. He's such a senior legendary musician, but he's so young at heart and he's got unlimited enthusiasm,
He's willing to try.
Yeah, he's willing to try even now. He's only composer of that era who's still rocking now also, and that's because he's got this crazy dedication to music, It's almost insane when you see his energy. So I started singing and Shibu Chakravarti sir, who wrote the lyrics, he was also there. And they put up with all my, now at perks, and now Shibu sir said, oh God, you were such a crazy girl at that time. You would just come and throw off your dupatta, tie your hair, you won't even comb your hair. What kind of you were like a street urchin. Now, he's like, now at least you become a little more sophisticated and a little more social. So You used to walk around like a bhikari with unmatched shawls and so, but I don't know, maybe that's why, you know, people say I was not at all social at that time. That is me, you know. I couldn't help it. That is how.
Do you see that change?
I feel I'm a lot more friendlier now. It's not that
what's that got to do with?
It's not lack of friendliness. It's just pure absent-mindedness. Sure. So a lot of people used to get offended. Recently, you know, when I did a show in Trivandrum, I sang a song for Dreams long back. Vidyasagar sir, Kannil Kashi Tum Bagal. It's a very nice song. Yes. And the producer of that movie was there in the recording studio. And the next day I met him, he was there throughout the recording. The next day I met him at the railway station, you know. And he said, I didn't even look at him the next day. And this he's telling me after 10 years, you know, in a very jovial way. He's a very cool guy. But then I was thinking, oh my God, no wonder people were pissed off with me all the time, you know, because he's telling, I was there with you at the studio the whole day. Next day, you Aluva Manapurtha Parijam Bolu Liada enne Kanandu Nadannu Poi. And I'm sure a lot of people used to think that I was very arrogant, you know. People still think that, you know, that I'm very indifferent. I don't have this, you know, so I'm not in a, you know, these things that people do. People are a lot more, they keep in touch all the time with the top league directors. Thank you, sir. How are you? So I don't do any of that, you know. So maybe that also affected my career in a, maybe I could have done a lot more songs if I were more social, you know.
But you have no regrets about that?
Absolutely right? No regrets. In fact, I'm grateful that I was like that, because, you know, if I had gotten into a fully playback mode, I would have ignored my classical music, and I wouldn't have anything to fall back upon.